In most states, it is legal for a parent or guardian to spank a child. However, developmental psychologists warn us that spanking and other forms of corporal punishment can cause a child to become resentful, disrespectful of authority, and to react with violence when they are upset or angry. Another problem with corporal punishment is that it can easily lead to abuse when a parent loses control. Since many state laws are extremely vague in how they define physical abuse, determining what constitutes abuse can be difficult. For instance, some states define physical abuse as having to be serious, so that means that less violent behaviors may not be recognized as child abuse. What's considered physical abuse are often the most extreme actions, such as violently throwing a child to the ground, whipping a child with a strap, punching a child, striking a child with a hard object, squeezing a child's head, arms, hands, or feet, purposefully burning or scalding a child, forcing a child to eat soap or other substances that cause vomiting, and restraining a child with ropes, tape, or bed sheets. There may be physical evidence when a child is abused severely, such as bruises, black eyes, burns, lacerations, scratches, scars, broken bones, and even the impression left by a hand, shoe, ring, strap, stick, or other object. Although you may think that the signs of abuse are always obvious, an abuser will often strike, burn, or otherwise harm a child on a part of his or her body where the bruises and scars are unlikely to be seen, such as the buttocks, back, bottom of the feet, back of the legs, and under the arms. Sometimes the signs of abuse may be covered up with clothing or makeup, so be aware of unusual changes in a child's appearance. If you become aware of a child who is injured or appears in pain, you should question them to see if they are all right and to find out if the child has a reasonable explanation for the injury or pain. If your organization has a nurse, have the child evaluated. School nurses should receive additional training to be able to recognize the medical signs of child abuse. Keep in mind that children tend to have accidents. What appears to be abuse could be nothing more than an injury caused by falling or other easily explainable mishaps. It is critical to note that you only need to have reasonable suspicion of abuse to request an investigation. Make sure the situation is reported to Child Protective Services if a child often complains of unexplained pain, you repeatedly observe that a child has injuries, burns, or wounds, the injuries are located in unusual places, or there is no reasonable explanation for how an injury occurred. Child abuse is nothing new, and for centuries fairy tales and other stories have been used to help to protect children by explaining things that are difficult for even some adults to comprehend. The moral of many of these stories is that people have a tendency to ignore abuse that should be obvious and only take notice when it is too late. As a mandated reporter, you can't wait to be sure. You need to contact Child Protective Services at the first inclination that abuse might be occurring.
Hello, I'm John Usbasic, CEO of Merit Career Development. Videos like this are funded entirely through the generous support and donations of our patrons. If you found this video helpful, please support our ongoing efforts to combat child abuse by donating to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/meritcd. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.